So the Republican candidates gear up for round two as the campaign shifts into high gear. Welcome to Happening Now. I'm Jon Scott.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jenna Lee, and we have live pictures now from the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley, California. That's right near Los Angeles, where another big battle could be shaping up between the top-ranking outsiders and those who are referred to as establishment candidates. As a recent New York Times CBS News poll shows Donald Trump at the head of the pack, and when Republican voters were asked which candidate has the best shot at winning the White House, Donald Trump increasing his lead to 36%. Another quote-unquote outsider, Dr. Ben Carson, surging to 18%, with Jeb Bush at 11% and Marco Rubio holding steady at 5%. But the election is more than a year away. We have to note that, and a lot of those numbers could change after tonight, when Donald Trump will again be the candidate at the center of the stage after a speech last night on board the USS Iowa.
We're going to make our military so big and so strong and so great. And it will be so powerful that I don't think we're ever going to have to use it. Nobody's going to mess with us.
Let's bring in Brad Woodhouse, president of Correct the Record, former communications director for the Democratic National Committee, and also Ed Rogers, Republican opinion writer for the Washington Post and former deputy assistant to President George H.W. Bush. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Brad, obviously Donald Trump comes in atop the polls. Is this his debate to lose?
Well, look, I actually think that the expectations are a lot higher for some of the other candidates. Carly Fiorina fought her way onto the debate stage, and everyone says she's got to go there and really have it out with Trump. This could be Scott Walker's last hurrah in the race. I mean, he's down to 2% in the national polls. And it's a good forum for Donald Trump. 11 people on stage. He doesn't have to say a lot. He can filibuster. And I think you'll probably see him do that tonight.
What about the speech on board the battleship Iowa? Ed, did Donald Trump deliver?
I think he delivered more of the same, which is working for him. He did not give a policy pronouncement of any type. I think perhaps people misinterpreted it, but it was billed as some sort of serious policy address, and it really wasn't. It was really not even platitudes. It was just assertions. Republicans are going to nominate a good conservative Republican. At some point, he's going to have to put meat on the bones in his policy positions for people to be able to critique and make an assessment of whether or not he's a legitimate conservative. But like I said, it's working for him. Tonight is not a big threshold event for anybody. I think the narrative and where the media wants to go is right about Trump and Fiorina. I think next they want to write maybe something about the emergence of Carson. Everybody has an appetite for Bush to stumble. But again, I don't think it's a big threshold event for anybody. So it'll be 11 candidates on the stage, not a whole lot of time for anybody to really have a breakout moment.
That's right.
Well, sticking with you for the moment, Ed, if Republicans are looking for that conservative leader that you say who, is eventually going to emerge from this process, does Donald Trump fit that bill?
He does not. He has not in any way, shape, or fashion been a good conservative Republican. Whether or not he's had an epiphany and he authentically, for all his authenticity, whether or not he is really a conservative remains to be seen and remains to be proven by him. And eventually he's going to have to get around to it. Republicans are going to nominate a good conservative Republican. It's a long way to go. All the candidates have time, including him. But no, he has not been a good conservative Republican, full stop.
And yet, Brad, when you look at the latest New York Times CBS News poll, it's pretty interesting. 36% of Republicans think that Donald Trump has the best chance of winning the 2016. I'm sorry, it's 39% think that Donald Trump has the best chance of winning the general election.
Well, that's right. And I think, John, that tells you a lot about where the Republican primary is going. I mean, look, I agree with Ed. This is not a huge threshold event, 11 people in the race. But I think the thing to look for is that it seems that these Republicans are willing to lose the general election to win the primary. I mean, since the last election, we've heard anchor babies, get rid of birthright citizenship, end support for women's health care, and on. All the things that Mitt Romney adopted that made him unelectable in 2012. And Trump is leading the Republicans down a path where they're only appealing to the base of the Republican Party, and that's dangerous for them going into next year.
And yet, Ed, as you point out, I mean, Donald Trump has supported many Democratic politicians in the past. He has espoused some very liberal positions. How is he appealing? How is he appealing, Ed, to the most conservative elements of the Republican Party?
Well, I think Trump has tapped into an anti-establishment, anti-Washington, anti-incumbent sentiment that is real. I'm not sure Trump is real. I'm not sure he is the authentic vehicle to capture, the vessel to capture that sentiment. So that all remains to be seen. But this is going to be a change election. That's bad for Hillary Clinton. It's bad for the Democrats. This is going to be an anti-incumbent election. The Democrats are the incumbent party in the White House. And so Trump, yeah, he is part of the anti-incumbent change sentiment that is largely undeveloped and will be sharpened and honed as we get closer to the real primaries. But yeah, this is going to be a change election, and that's mostly bad for the Democrats, not bad for the Republicans.
For those who did not get to hear Donald Trump's speech on board the USS Iowa, here is a little bit more of what he had to say. Take a listen.
Every other country that we do business with, they're smarter, more cunning, sharper than our leaders. I love free trade. The concept is great, but you need smart people. I have the smartest people in this country lined up. I have the best business leaders, and they all want to do it. They're wealthy because they make good deals. Like me, I make good deals. It's a talent. It's a talent. You can't be a politician.
So he's got the best people lined up. Brad, Ed, either one of you get a call from Donald Trump yet?
Where are those people? I want him to see him on stage with those people, and he should call Brad. He's a good Democrat.
Brad?
Well, look, first of all, y'all can have Donald Trump, but I agree. I agree with this concept. I mean, I think who's going to step up tonight and say to Donald Trump, who are these people? Tell us who they are. Tell us who would be running your administration. Who would, who'd be running your Treasury Department? Who would be handling these issues like trade? And the question tonight is: anybody really have the gumption to challenge Donald Trump? They really didn't in the last debate. It was very weak tea from people like Rand Paul, and so I think the expectations are high tonight on the challengers to Donald Trump. I think he's actually in pretty good shape.
All right,
he is in good shape, but again, I don't think anybody should be taking the bait and try to beat Trump and try to out-Trump Trump anyway. I think again, tonight is about mostly being credible, being serious, appealing to the people that are leaning your way, and sort of letting Trump handle Trump. And again, I think the person that has the best opportunity here is Carly Fiorina.
Yeah.
Again, there's a big appetite for her to have an exchange with Trump, so we'll see how that goes. And I know I'm going to tune in.
Just guessing, she is not one of those business leaders he has lined up. Just guessing. All right, Ed Rogers, Brad Woodhouse. Thank you both.
Thanks.
Thank you.